y'all, back at it again with another YouTube video. No wish videos. Please ignore this background. I was getting really tired of my curtains and just my little lights. So I was like, oh, okay, I'm gonna order a good background. So I went on Amazon, ordered this. It looked a million times better in the photo than what it did when I got it here. So for now, I'm just using it. There we go. Till I find another one that I think that might be halfway decent. But today is going to be a video on homemade face powder with something you might already have in your kitchen, which is oats. So I took a few notes on what this homemade face powder with oats can do for you and help, and we are going to see if this works. We are going to do a wear time test on it, and I have oily skin, so it's supposed to be good as a blotting powder. So we will also see that because I will probably have the makeup on for anywhere from 5+ hours, so we will see how well this works. So this homemade face powder made of oats doesn't clog pores and is an excellent source of vitamins. It is excellent in mattifying the face. It evens the complexion and eliminates oily shine. By its composition, it's hypoallergenic, so you shouldn't have any type of allergies or anything like this from this powder. It's transparent, but it hides any visible defects on the face and adapts to the color of your complexion. Oatmeal is also an anti-inflammatory. It is perfect for most skin types, even the most sensitive skin. It contains sapoins, which is a cleaning agent, so you can do face mask recipes with this, exfoliating recipes with this. There's even a dry shampoo ingredient recipe for this, which I might end up trying that out too, because I am really big on dry shampoos, so I think I'll probably end up testing that out too. It's moisturizing and helps remove dead skin cells. It can help treat acne, eczema, rosacea, and rashes. Relieve symptoms of aging skin. Will balance out the amount of oil in your skin, which will help reduce acne and other oily skin problems, and you can wear this with or without makeup. The powder is non-toxic and is free of any chemicals. Oatmeal has rich antioxidant properties that will help repair the skin from damage due to pollution, UV rays, and chemicals. If you have sensitive skin, the blotting powder works great in preventing sunburn and or healing it. So that seems pretty good to me. We will see if this really does work. So the things that you're going to need oats, water, a blender, and if you don't have a blender, it also says on here that you can use a coffee grinder. So if you have that, you're going to need paper towels, a bowl, and of course a plate. So what it says is you're going to, and the recipe that I found, there was so many different, and I'm calling it recipe because I'm using a food, so I guess that's why I'm calling it a recipe, because I'm going to be using food to me. So the one that I found said 8 tablespoons of oats. So 8 tablespoons roughly equals out to 2/3 of a cup. So I do have my blender. I actually had to go out and buy, this is just the top piece of course, I actually had to go out and buy this blender because, believe it or not, I haven't owned a blender in years. Mine broke. I just never replaced it. I didn't really have a need to replace it, so I went out and bought this especially for this video to see if this really works, because I'm quite interested in it. I have oily skin and I would love to see if this works better and if it looks good with makeup. So what we do, we're going to open our little, and we're going to pour our oats into here, and you want them to be very well blended. So the best thing that I've seen to use for this is there is an option on some blenders. I'm not sure. It's on mine. I don't know if it's on other blenders. But there is a pulse option. You also have chop, mix, grate, blend and liquefy. And doing some research on this, it stated that probably using pulse is going to grind this up into a more finely milled powder, because if you're going to grind crackers, it says to use the pulse button. So we are going to get started on this to see if this works. So I've moved to the kitchen because I didn't want to make a mess back there, and I've been reading on what you're supposed to do. So we did grind our oats up on the pulse, and we're going to pour them into a bowl. It did not specify how much water she is using, but she's using a very, very small, and I have a burn from a light bulb, that's what that is, and it's bad. So I'm not going to use much water, and it didn't say to mix it either. It says to pour the water in and leave it sitting for 20 minutes, and then you will drain the water out and leave the oats in there, and you're going to repeat this process 3 times, basically to clean it. And there is something called sediments that is apparently in oats that you are wanting to get out. So I'm just going to pour enough water in to cover it, and believe it or not, this is already a pretty finely milled powder. It does have the little pieces in it, which I guess that's what they're talking about, but I mean, already that is a very smooth powder so far. So I'm just going to put enough in just to cover the oats. I have a plate and a paper towel, and pour it onto here and leave it sitting to dry. And then I have a jar for now to put it into, and then I'm going to do my primer, foundation, concealer, and then we will use this as what I would use for a normal setting and baking powder, and see how much well this does work. So we will be back when we're close to being done. Okay, so I have drained and placed my oats onto a paper towel, so it kind of looks like this. Very sure about the process that I just did to follow that particular way to do this. So I do have it on the plate, and I have taken a hair dryer to try to dry this, but it is just too I don't know, too stuck together, and it's not, you know, going in to pieces at all. But I am actually just gonna leave this and let it sit to dry and see if it will turn into a powder form. So I'm just gonna leave that to set to dry. I'm not gonna waste it. I will actually see if that way works. But what I actually thought about was, what is the reason that you need to sift something that is already natural? Ow, that bottom was hot. Shit. Oh, shitsies. Sorry. So I went ahead and just did a half a cup of oats, because I really don't want to waste all of these if this isn't going to work, and I really don't think that I need more than what a normal compact would have. So I did go ahead and finely grain some more oats, and what I thought about was using a strainer to get the other out, because I don't see why this wouldn't go ahead and work as a face powder as finely milled as it is. And I'm just going to strain this into this bowl and see what we get from this. So I've just put some in, and I'm just going to kind of tap, because as you can see, I am getting more finely milled powder this way. I see that some of this powder is not exactly finely milled. We do have Don't know if you can see, but there is some like chunks in there. And I believe this right here is going to be plenty to try this out. So now I'm excited that I can go and I can start my makeup and do a wear test on this. And I am back. I have done my foundation and my concealer so far. And I checked the first concoction, we'll say, that I had made, and still it's real goopy. There's some parts that might eventually, I don't know, it's just still like real goopy, like real. It's not like, maybe we'll still leave that sitting, but I do have the one that I did do and run through the strainer. So I am going to take my little e.l.f. powder puff and I'm going to try my best to set my face with this. Just going to, oh, it's flying everywhere. It's kind of leaving like these white specks on my face. I'm not sure what those are, but it definitely is leaving like white specks. I mean, you can see like the little white specks. It does make a mess, that's for sure. We got a little bit of a mess going on, but as long as you just do this, I mean, I do have to say, like, so far this is like a really good, thus far we have a really good setting powder. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to finish up powdering my face, and I will see how baking goes when I get ready for that step, because I don't do that until after I've like bronze, contoured, blush, blah blah blah. Okay, so I have finished with my bronzer, blush, and highlight, and all of them went really well over top of this powder. So as you can see, I still have the powder under my eyes at the moment. I have finished all my eye makeup, but just my lash line and my inner corner highlight. I'm going to have to go in with my Morphe one to be able to dust this away a little better. I wanted to see if the powder would catch the fallout and sweep it away, but as you can see, I have not done my lash line and the powder transferred under my eyes. So I don't think this would be a recommendation for baking due to the fact that it didn't catch the powder fallout, and what it did catch, it didn't sweep it away. So I would not recommend this for baking. But so I will see you all here in just a little bit when we come to do our final check-in to see if this is really worth it or not. So I assume you can probably tell that it is bedtime. The hoop earrings are out and the extensions are out. Besides that, we're here to talk about how well the Oatmeal translucent powder worked. So I wore the Cover FX Power Play foundation today, and the reason I wore that foundation is because I get, believe it or not, I get really oily off of that foundation. It's crazy. I've tried several powders, several setting sprays. I still get really oily from that. So far, it did blur my pores. Like I said, I would not recommend it for baking. Yes, you did see like it kind of would leave like white specks, but all you had to do was take a brush and those brushed right off. But for baking, no, did not help whatsoever. I would not use it for that. I would use another powder for that. But if you can get that one recipe to work, you can try that. And it was by Life DIY, Little DIY.com or something like that is where I found it at. And I just couldn't get it to work because they don't tell you the amount of water, and then some people tell you 6 cups. But anyway, I'm really shocked because I have very oily skin that my skin is still, and mind you, I have had, and I'm missing some makeup right here where I wiped my mouth with a napkin and wiped some of it off around my mouth, so that's why that looks like that. But believe it or not, like, no oil. Like, it really, 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 really works. Like, the way I did it, it definitely works. And I will probably include this powder into my daily makeup routine. So that is the final result. I liked it the way I did it. You can try it other ways. I'll leave the link to it, 2 of them that I found, in the description box, and I will also leave the way that I did it, which I think is much, much easier. The other ones are very processy. But that is all for today's video. I hope to see you all in my next video. Hit that subscribe button, give this video a thumbs up, leave a comment if you'd like to, but leave a sweet one, please. And I will see you all in my next video. Bye, guys.